All right, so today we're diving into The Realities of Life, a series based on the work of author Jean Benjour. And we're tackling a big one, Key 4, Protect Your Uniqueness. I mean, think about it. It's this huge challenge we all deal with, right? How do you actually hold on to what makes you, well, you, when it feels like the whole world is constantly trying to make you fit in? So let's start with a really fundamental truth. In the entire massive fabric of humanity, there's only one you. You are a single, totally unrepeatable thread. It's a pretty powerful thought to kick things off with, isn't it?
And yet, if that's true, if we're all so one of a kind, why on earth do we spend so much time and energy trying to do the exact opposite, trying to blend in, to match the pattern all around us? That's the big question, the paradox we're going to try and untangle today.
Okay, so where does all this pressure even come from? Well, it turns out it's not just in your head. The world actually has a pretty good reason for wanting to smooth out our edges. It's kind of like a social sandpaper. You know, on one hand, every society needs these shared rules and norms just to function. It's the glue that holds us all together. But here's the catch. That exact same force, if we're not careful, is the one that tries to smooth out all our interesting edges, to sand us down into a shape that's, well, a little more manageable, a little more predictable. And this is where Benjour really raises the stakes. This isn't just about, fitting in at a party. He's saying that if you don't actively resist this pressure, you run the risk of becoming a stranger in your own story. You could literally disappear from your own life. Now, to really get a handle on the kind of effort this takes, we're going to look at a pretty surprising place: biology. It turns out, this abstract idea of holding on to your identity, it's got a direct parallel in the physical work your body is doing every single second of the day. The key idea here is something called entropy. Now, in physics, entropy is just the natural tendency for everything to move toward a state of, well, sameness. Think about a hot cup of coffee you leave on the table. It doesn't stay hot, right? It gradually cools down until it's the same temperature as the room. That right there, that's entropy. So now, think about your own body. It is constantly fighting to maintain that stable 98.6 degrees. It doesn't matter if it's freezing cold outside or scorching hot. It takes a ton of biological energy just to stop yourself from becoming the same temperature as the world around you. And this is such a perfect metaphor, isn't it? Sliding into sameness, just becoming the temperature of the room. That's the easy path. It's effortless. But remaining distinct, maintaining your own temperature, that takes constant, conscious effort. So here's the big idea from this section. At its core, life is just the biological work of fighting against physical entropy. And in the very same way, maintaining your identity is the psychological work of fighting against social entropy. Being you actually takes energy. So if being unique is so vital, why is blending in so dang tempting? Well, there's a powerful story about a zebra that gives us a hint. It shows us that this instinct is rooted in something really primal: survival. The story goes that some researchers wanted to track a single zebra, so they painted a big red dot on its side. And what happened? The lions were able to immediately single it out from that confusing, dizzying pattern of the herd. It's a really stark reminder of a basic truth. In a crowd, being the same as everyone else can be a shield. It can keep you safe. And yeah, that's a totally valid instinct. We all want to feel safe. But it forces us to ask a really tough question. What's the real price we pay for that safety? What are we giving up when we decide to blend in completely? And this is the profound trade-off. The price of that perfect camouflage is never truly being seen. You're swapping genuine connection for a feeling of safety. Sure, you might be protected, but you're also completely invisible. This all leads us to the most empowering part of this whole idea. If blending in is just the default setting, then making the choice to be seen, well, that becomes a powerful act of courage. And it's the only place where any real, meaningful change can actually start. It's really that simple. I mean, think about it for a second. Personal growth, innovation, big cultural shifts, none of that stuff happens in the quiet safety of the herd. It happens when one person, somewhere, chooses to become visible, to stand apart with integrity, and show that there's another way to be. And here we land on this great paradox. The world can be really uncomfortable with people who go against the grain. It might even push back or punish them at first. But at the end of the day, our world is built by those very people.
Now, let's be super clear about this. This is not a call to just be a rebel for the sake of it. The real art here is finding the balance. The goal is to figure out how you can belong to your community, your tribe, without having to erase your own face to do it. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the why. Now let's get to the how. How do we actually take this idea and put it into practice in our own lives? It all starts with one small, authentic step.
So here's a little call to action for you this week. Step 1. Just think of one place, one area of your life where you feel like you're hiding a real part of yourself. Step 2. Decide on one small, safe way you could bring that part forward. And step 3. Do it. Just take that one small step. Look, it doesn't have to be some huge dramatic gesture. Maybe it's sharing an opinion you usually keep quiet, or just mentioning a hobby you have. Remember, those small, authentic steps, they're the ones that are the most powerful.
And we'll leave you with this last really powerful thought from Jean Benjour. A meaningful life, it's not something you go out and find like treasure. It's something you make. You build it one authentic, courageous choice at a time. The work of being you is probably the most important work you'll ever get to do.